best youth activity programs, and best preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
If you're interested in installing solar panels in Nebraska, there's a name you need to know. Solar by Alpine Electric is based out of Lincoln, and you can be sure your project will be handled with care and detail because Rick, the owner of Solar by Alpine Electric, will be involved in the entire process from start to finish. We're an REC Solar Certified Pro installer and handle jobs in Lincoln and the surrounding area. Let us show you real-time results in your area. Call Rick today at 402-440-4371. Solar by Alpine Electric.
We are back in studio here on 93.7 The Ticket, just for a little intermission between games here, as Grand Island has forced an elimination game. It had an elimination game of themselves just a second ago, but ended up winning that one 7-5 over the number 1 seed Millard West. Therefore, we'll have the second part of our doubleheader between those two teams coming up here. First pitch set for 1 o'clock. So myself, Jake Bachman, Austin Orman, in studio. I'll talk a little sports just in between the games to get us through it here. So it was a good day for sports yesterday. Of course, NBA playoffs starting. The Lakers falling to Denver. You've got another NBA playoff game tonight, so maybe we'll touch on that a little bit. Of course, the big news in the NBA, though, more so than maybe even Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, was the draft lottery. First, Austin, I want to ask you, because they do this every year. Do you like it being like in the midst of the playoffs when they do the draft lottery? Seems like sometimes it takes away from it, but at the other, in another way, I think it's kind of good pairing because it gets you excited a little bit more about basketball. Then I just sat back and kind of think, like, what mattered more here in 10 years? Did Denver winning Game 1 or the Spurs getting the number 1 pick of the draft?
I mean, it does matter more that the Spurs got the number 1 pick. Plain and simple, I think it does because, 7-game series versus potential, franchise altering talent in Wembanyama. To me, the best spot would be, okay, since we have the 10-team, playoff field now on each side. Once you get the 2 play-in teams eliminated and you're down to the 8 and the 8, to me, you just have a 1-day break. You make that lottery night. You can make that a kind of pre-playoff mega preview. If you're the networks, you can make that the lottery night since you know who's involved. I know that's a quick turnaround for those teams that, lose in that game to be the 8 seed, but hey, that's the price you pay at that point. So not saying, it's rarely the coach. Sometimes it's the GM. It's just a general representative for the team that's there. So I wouldn't think it would be that big a deal. Doing it the night of the conference finals starting, I don't love. I think that detracts from the basketball. I think it makes it about more, the sideshow of the lottery and the, not making it to the playoffs is the best way to make it to the playoffs. So to me, playoff time should be playoff time. I think the best compromise is do it, once those play-in teams know where they're going.
Yeah, it does. It feels a little crowded, but I guess whatever the case, it works out for the NBA. Spurs, of course, get the pick. Any chance now? You hear this every couple of years. This is the best prospect since LeBron James in 2003. This one seems to be the case, because it's a 7'2" and growing 19-year-old Victor Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
You have to get used to saying his name, Wembanyama, from France. And any chance the Spurs trade this, I would doubt. I mean, you'd have to put quite a package together, I think. Even OKC. What if OKC puts a whole their package together?
Well, underrated storyline for the Spurs is that they still have 12 picks between 2025 and 2028. So the Spurs don't need them. Plain and simple. So, no, I just saw this come over from ESPN Stats and Info. San Antonio has won 2 lotteries. They've had 2 number 1 picks before. The first one, they get David Robinson. Next year, they go 56 and 26. 1990, would that be 7 or 8, whichever year Duncan was drafted? They get Tim Duncan number 1 overall. They go 56 and 26. So you get number 1 pick when there's another generational big man. Bet exactly 56 and 26 for the Spurs this year. That's what you do.
There you go. Who are you most looking forward to seeing Wembanyama against? Is it Chet Holmgren?
Chet's up there. I'm trying to think.
Similar body styles.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Victor versus Wembanyama, or Victor versus Zion Williamson will be fun. They nominally play the same position. They're both centers, I think, at heart. Those are 2 very different, games and body styles. Victor versus Scoot, the projected number 2, number 3, probably won't drop out of the top 5 pick from the G League. We saw 2 games against him, a couple exhibitions last year when Mets 92 came over to play the G League Ignite in Vegas. So seeing them, on the NBA court for the first time will be fun. To me, though, it'll be interesting to see some matchups in a couple years. So how does Wembanyama compare to a Nikola Jokic? How does he compare to an Anthony Davis? How does he compare to an Embiid? Even like a Karl Anthony Towns, a guy like that. What is Victor Wembanyama when he comes into the league versus what he is, in the next 3 years with a couple years under his belt? And then by the time he's 22, he's still 4 or 5 years away from his prime. Yeah. So what he still could be, I should throw Giannis in that conversation as well. There's so many different ways Victor Wembanyama can go, and I'm curious to see what he's able to do and what the Spurs allow him to do.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially you mentioned Giannis there. It took him a few years to kind of bulk up and get ready to go. I mean, he averaged like 13 points the first couple of years, or I don't have the stats right in front of me, but into the star that he is now, and probably right up there is one of the best basketball players still alive today, or should be saying still playing today. There's some pretty good ones still alive as well, and maybe Michael Jordan might still have an argument there, but. So the NBA draft lottery, very interesting. I will say, as a fan too, and I always do this with kind of, you like college basketball. It's kind of tough because with the French prospect, at least his name is up there just because of how the hype is real. And I mean this is a big time potential prospect here. I'm a little bit bothered by the fact that if you look at most draft boards, the top 5 pretty much doesn't have a college basketball player in it. I mean, we'll see if they can slide in there, but the G League, that opportunity has been one that people have taken up, and it's just, people aren't going to watch too much of that. So it's kind of a little bit frustrating, even if you're a Pistons fan or somebody else that didn't get the number 1 pick, that you don't bring in a household name as it used to be with college basketball. But I'm an old guy, and that's been kind of the case for quite some time, but particularly this year's draft.
As a college basketball fan, I don't love it, but at the same time, I think the fact that we're seeing, the international game grow is good long-term. And I think having, places around like Overtime Elite, like the G League Ignite, even just one and dones where they weren't necessarily established in college, they just made that little pit stop. To me, it should be viewed not as that everyone hates college basketball, why aren't they coming here? It's what do we have to do to get these guys here and to keep them here? Because the one and done model isn't going away. There are enough talented players that you can have 2 or 3 go a year, and that's fine. But you have to get those ones that are on the edge between, can I make it at this level? Do I want to go to college, still be enough of a kid and stick to that routine, or do I want to start the professional routine now? I think it's a credit to the G League and to Overtime that they've built up a system that works for kids, as quickly as they did. I mean, this didn't spring up overnight, but it hasn't taken decades either. It popped up pretty quickly, and they have a good foundation in place where guys can learn and grow. And to me, the challenge for college basketball isn't to, complain and try to get him to shut down. It's how do we compete? How do we raise our game? How do we get good enough prospects? How do we get eyeballs? And then how do we best prepare our players for the next level to go highly? Because you don't see experienced college guys taken nearly as high, nearly as consistently anymore. And again, I don't think that's necessarily a problem. It's different for sure than what it used to be. But to me, it's a chance for college basketball to learn, grow, and adapt.
Well, it's too, they've kind of got their own stars that don't necessarily translate. And of course, the land of the Big Ten is a perfect example of that, kind of with your, Zach Edey probably being a pretty good example from Purdue, kind of see what happens with him. But of course, you've had him over the years, and Luka Garza hangs on a roster.
Oscar Tshiebwe didn't get drafted.
Get drafted. He's the National Player of the Year 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's a different game at the college level, and you kind of have building your different stars there. But they obviously aren't, moving on to the NBA. I guess there's nothing necessarily to fix about that. It's just adapting. I always kind of think, I know you as a Duke fan, I always kind of think back to the just the team that had like Jay Williams and Shane Battier and
Mike Dunleavy Jr.
Dunleavy and Carlos Boozer, and it was just like
Brand.
It's going to be hard to convince me that any of these teams can compete with those guys. Would stay 2 or 3 years, and in some cases 4, and then would go on to have NBA success. It's hard to convince me that too many modern teams would beat those teams, but that's one of the best teams of all time. So maybe that's not a fair comparison either. But that was the extreme example of like, in certainly in the 80s, you had Georgetown with Ewing or Mourning and just stars that were made ready for the league. Just doesn't really happen as much anymore, and it's kind of sad, but I guess it is what it is.
Again, it's just different. The way that a lot of people in media talk about basketball is how they grew up with it, and change isn't always bad. Sure, there are negatives to it in some cases, but the eras are just different. I don't want to say better. I don't want to say worse, because to me, that's something that we can't measure till a little further down the line, since we're kind of in the middle of that era and we're, maybe transitioning to a new one. I guess we'll see. But, Coach Calipari in Kentucky, the way they were at the front of the one and dones, and that worked out really well. Duke kind of took that crown over, won that title in 2015. Now, both Duke and Kentucky are still looking for a title since then. And what have we seen? We've seen older, more experienced college players be the ones that win there. But a lot of those guys haven't necessarily gone on to a lot of pro success. I mean, I think of, Jalen Brunson, maybe the best example of a guy that's, won a title, stuck around for a while, and has developed into a solid to good NBA player. But he's not, a number one, absolute, no doubt, alpha all-star. So it's just, again, an interesting view of things, because the way the NBA was, it's still a grown man's league, but I think you can get away with being more athletic. You don't have to have that old man strength like you did back in the day. Now, it helps, obviously, but if you have enough skill, you can grow into that and still be successful, whether it's, in college, yes, but a lot of these guys take that, 1 or 2 and done route because they have the skill. And at that point, why waste it in college when you're not going to be able to get everything the NBA offers?
Yeah. Kind of thinking along those lines too, because I was thinking about this the other day, kind of transitioning the conversation a little bit. I think you're right. It's just kind of differences in college basketball. But the problem too is college basketball has been fading. And just, you talk about, the overtime elite and stuff like it's better for the kid. And ultimately what you want to do is better to prepare them, but it's not better for college basketball. And now with conference realignment kind of popping back up, you hear about potentially splitting Duke, North Carolina. It's again, just a reminder, college basketball, you can say different and all that. I do believe it's kind of taking the backseat in a lot of these decisions. It always has March Madness, which is just a huge, as far as, making money across the nation and just a giant event. But it does kind of take the backseat to a lot of these, conversations. But again, it just kind of is what it is. It's always been somewhat of a regional sport anyway. So how much does any of this impact Nebraska basketball? Not a whole lot.
Well, it's regional, but it's, it ends up national because, you have your conferences and you're always fighting for, conference supremacy. And the argument that I never like hearing is, well, it's not a good product. Well, yeah, I get it. The refs are bad. It's atrocious. But in terms of the actual, play on the court, what do you expect?
Right.
Not like high school basketball is any better, and you expect them to be pros right now. right? I think we misunderstand generally what, pro ready is or one and done. We're not saying they're a finished product. We're not saying they're an NBA All-Star right now in college. These guys, of course, are going to be worse than the NBA. The shooting's not going to be as good. The execution's not going to be as crisp. The coaches, again, plenty of fantastic coaches in college basketball, not NBA level. We're not supposed to be watching that, right? There's some beauty in the mess, right? Whereas the NBA is all points, score, run, threes, everything like that. That's not college.
Yeah.
Some teams try, doesn't always work out that well. And to me, that's the fun of it. So for me, lower your expectations a little, people. We know they're not pros. Don't bash on the game for being bad. It is what it's supposed to be.
But then, I mean, you throw in the transfer portal now. I meit's hard to have any roster, your roster continuity from year to year. So it's kind of reteaching, the same thing with them. It is. It's. I can see it at times, but it does. When I watch with my non-sports, I got friends that don't necessarily care too much for sports.
Well, not your friends then.
Well, there are my friends, but I just because I'm intrigued by their viewing of it, and I had one friend that just really kind of. I tried to get him to like college football for a few years and then watched the NFL and just told me how much more he likes the product because it's amazing. You see, amazing things. And it's kind of the same thing with the NBA. I can turn on a game with one of my friends and he'll be able to tell me within a minute, oh, this is a college basketball game compared to an NBA game. So, it is just kind of what you like in college basketball, college sports. I prefer college football to the NFL, despite the fact that, the NFL is a higher level of play. So it just kind of depends if you like kind of the pageantry around it, the tradition, the history, the fact that if you like coaches, for example, or like following coaches, coaching in college basketball, that's their program. It's like no more important role within the program, whereas compared to the NBA, the number 1 seed and the number 3 seed in the East have already fired their coaches, and it's just not a coaches league. So it just kind of depends what you're looking for.
I much prefer college football and college basketball to their professional counterparts. College basketball and college football to me are much more accessible. I've never really had an NBA team that I've followed, that strongly. If I did have to choose one, it would have been the Spurs a while ago. Not like they're huge fixtures on national TV where I'm sitting down all the time. And, oh, by the way, I'm like 200 miles from San Antonio. So not like there's a huge community of Spurs fans here to latch onto. Whereas college basketball, kind of like I said, there's beauty in the mess. You can turn on any game and see something just stupid happen. It's so dumb. It's so pointless. But it's so fun because you don't know who these teams are. They're playing at a random time, and it sucks, but it's fun to watch the suck. And even college football, too. My allegiance is with the Colts, so obviously I'll sit down and watch them. I just don't care about it because either you watch a really good NFL game that everyone else is watching, okay, great, or there's a really bad NFL game between two terrible teams, and it's just sad. For college football, you watch a really bad game between two terrible teams, you're going to see something just off the wall, nuts, stupid. And it's glorious because it's supposed to be that way. Whereas just a bad NFL game is 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt, 3-and-out punt. And it's just, what are we doing here? Just wasting everyone's time.
Do you like me? I like part of the reason that I've fallen in love with college football for many reasons, but part of it is declining, and I'm having to adjust to the change too. When they go to the 12-team playoffs, is the regular season. I always kind of felt like that was a big difference for me for college football and NFL. Was like I felt like if you lose in week 7 in the NFL, like what am I watching? What does it matter? And college football every week kind of mattered for the champions. Mm-hmm. Now less so. Still the case, but less so. And I think that'll hurt a little bit. Rico, the people that make fun of me for my college football regular season arguments, but I honestly, like, this is the last year before you get to the next playoff. I'm going to embrace those September non-con matchups this year as much as I can, because in the future, they don't have the same weight that they'll have this year that they've had in the past.
Yeah, I mean, the longer NFL season makes a random week 7 loss like that. I also would love to check the data and see if there are more or less upsets in the NFL, compared to college, because to me, that's the beauty of the college game, where I feel like you see more upsets, and they mean more because of kind of the gap in college football, where you don't often, get a lot of teams that are, like the 45th best team over the 35th best team. Hardly really an upset. If you're in week 7, you're getting some, 3-4 team or a 2-5 team against a 7-0 team. That's a legit upset. That means something. It's random. It's crazy. It's in the middle of the season. You don't expect it. Where in the NFL, you still have 11 weeks to turn things around.
Yeah. And I think too, you hit on a good point too, and I kind of think this way with college basketball. The last couple of years, especially the tournament, it's like, you scream for parity if you're, I guess, a have-not, and everybody wants the most parity and the most fairness. And then when that product comes around, I don't love it because I want an upset. I don't want it doesn't really matter because that's not the best team that, Florida State's had recently. So, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's interesting for sports fans, different preferences. But we all kind of just have to go with what they throw us and where they're headed. We'll kind of see. But I do know one thing. We do have great baseball here on 93.7 The Ticket. We've got a second half of the doubleheader coming up here. Millard West in Grand Island. Grand Island forced this game with a 7-5 victory that finished up about a half an hour ago, about a half an hour break for these guys. We'll take a quick break. We'll send it back out to Nick for a little bit of pregame before first pitch here on 93.7 The Ticket. Thanks for joining myself, Jake Bakoven, and Austin Orman for this break. We'll take a quick little commercial break, then be back there in Omaha for the first pitch of Millard West in Grand Island.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954. Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for DBAT Lincoln. Summer is quickly approaching and there's no better way to spend your days than at DBAT Lincoln summer camps for players 13 years and younger. Give your baseball or softball player the chance to improve their hitting, fielding, and base running skills from the best instructors in Lincoln. Sign up now because spots are limited. And if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, you will receive 20% off your entire enrollment. For more information or to sign up, call DBAT Lincoln at 402-882-3228 or visit their location 2 blocks south of Lincoln Southwest High School. DBAT Lincoln, developing beliefs, attitudes, and traditions on and off the field.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further.
All right, Buck, can you hear me okay?
President of the Cedars organization.
We might be starting a little bit later than they thought, but we'll be able to
make your gift to Cedars and
stretch it
support
here.
Lincoln's kids today.
If
Hey,
at 1
it's
o'clock
Nicklin
you guys
Hanks
want to bring me
basketball.
back,
I
I
hate
can
wasting
then
time in practice, and I
just
want to
fill
help
for a
you
couple
stop
minutes if I
wasting
need
your
to.
time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. Hey, with summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences, with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time for the Class A State Baseball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. State baseball broadcasts are presented by the Carpe Diem team of Nebraska Realty, Independence Built, A1 Automotive, DBAT Lincoln, and DOT Highway Safety Office, and High Electric. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert.
Let's play another game, shall we? As, Millard West and Grand Island fight in a winner-take-all game for a spot in Friday night's state championship game. Welcome back into Tally Anderson Field here in Omaha as we are set to go with the first pitch. Same lineups for both sides. Obviously, people are going to teams are going to be.
The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Teams are going to be starting the same lineups, but with different pitchers here as we are underway. Caleb Lanphier will be the pitcher on the mound for Millard West. Millard West will be the home team here in this one. Broxton Barrientos, the first batter to face Lanphier. And it's a quick 2-1 count here on the leadoff hitter, Broxton Barrientos. Appreciate sticking around. Thanks to Bach and Austin for filling some time in between a couple of games as we were able to get some grub here at Tal Anderson Field. But we're back, ready to get going here for game 2 of the day. So we'll for sure have 3 games, as here's game 2 between Millard West and Grand Island, but then game 3 of the day will be between Elkhorn South and Lincoln East. That one will be around 4 p.m. So first pitch was at 12:59 p.m. It's 76 degrees here at Tal Anderson Field. So Lanphier, the 3-2 count here to Barrientos. The pitch outside, ball 1, and Barrientos draws a leadoff walk. If you didn't join us for the first game, I'm glad you're joining us now, first of all. But second of all, the main storyline was a 7-run second inning from Grand Island. And it was on the shoulders of multiple walks and errors committed by the Millard West defense, which is so uncharacteristic for this Wildcat team, as we have a back pick at first base, and Barrientos is back in time. Cohen Evans up to bat now for Grand Island. He tried to bunt on that first pitch of the at-bat, but whiffed it. So no balls, 1 strikes here to Cohen Evans. So once again, the same lineup for both sides here in game 2. As here's the pitch as Evans bunts it down. It's a good bunt right in front of the plate. The throw over to first is in time for out number 1, but Evans does his job and sacrifices Barrientos over to second base. And so now Grand Island already with a runner in scoring position with 1 down here in the top of the first inning. So Cohen Evans gets credit for the sacrifice. That's out number 1. And on the sacrifice, as I mentioned, Barrientos goes to second base. Brings up E.J. Ahrens, the 3-hole hitter. He takes strike 1 on the inside corner, 0-1. Ahrens had a good game earlier this morning. Now the 0-1 count. Breaking ball doesn't drop down low enough. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. People starting to file back in from the parking lot. I ran out to my car in between, and parents were out there having a tailgate with some hot dogs and stuff over here and grilling hot dogs in between each game. So not sure necessarily the Millard West folks expected to be here for game 2, but the Grand Island people came prepared, ready to go. So the 1-1 pitch is fouled off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to the 3-hole E.J. Ahrens with Barrientos on second. Here's the pitch from Lanphier on 1-2. Low in the dirt, rather. Ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here to the 3-hole, E.J. Ahrens. The pitch. Outside corner, called strike 3. Lanphier pumps his fist as there was a breaking ball that was probably on the chalk of the opposite batter's box. But by rule, that is now part of the high school strike zone. They changed that a couple years ago where it goes chalk to chalk. So Dale Hammond, the home plate umpire, by rule, just rung him up on a good pitch in a better location by Caleb Lanphier. So Lanphier has 2 outs now in the top of the first. The first pitch to the 4-hole hitter. Lighting is low and away. Ball 1. Carson Lighting, the senior, hitting .275 this year. Hitting cleanup for Grand Island. The 1-0 pitch, low in the dirt. Ball 2. So once again, just to kind of tell you guys what's on the line and what has happened. These 2 teams played on Friday as Lighting takes a 2-0 fastball down the heart of the plate for strike 1, 2-1. These 2 teams played on Friday. Millard West won in 5 innings, 10-0. And then just this morning, Grand Island forces the if necessary game with a 7-5 win. As this one's going to be roped to right field, it'll get down for a base hit. Rounding third is Barrientos trying to score. It's cut off by the first baseman, and Grand Island has an early 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. A nice RBI single from Carson Lighting allows Barrientos to score from second base with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning, and Millard West is already in a deficit. Back in 2008, Grand Island made the state tournament championship as an 8 seed. Here in 2023, trying to do the same thing as the first pitch to number 13, Braden Lee, the 5-hole hitter hitting .321 this year, is a called strike, 0-1. So Barrientos comes around third and scores on the RBI single from Carson Lighting. And now the 0-1 pitch here to Braden Lee. Low in the dirt, ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike here to the 5-hole hitter, Braden Lee. The pitch, low and away, ball 2. So here we see it once again with the Millard West starting pitcher struggling with command. Caleb Lanphier, he walked the first batter, Barrientos, and then Barrientos ended up getting over to second base via sacrifice bunt as Braden Lee swings and misses at strike 2, 2-2. But that RBI single is just a single if Barrientos isn't given a free base on the walk. The 2-2 pitch, outside corner, called strike 3. And so at the end of the top of the first inning, Grand Island does get on the board with a run in the top of the first. We'll go ahead and send it to break. We'll be back in a minute and a half with the bottom of the first. Same lineup as previously for Millard West. We'll tell you about them and the starting pitcher that they'll be facing off against coming up next on the ticket.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121. Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for DBAT Lincoln. Summer is quickly approaching and there's no better way to spend your days than at DBAT Lincoln summer camps for players 13 years and younger. Give your baseball or softball player the chance to improve their hitting, fielding, and base running skills from the best instructors in Lincoln. Sign up now because spots are limited. And if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, you will receive 20% off your entire enrollment. For more information or to sign up, call DBAT Lincoln at 402-882-3228 or visit their location 2 blocks south of Lincoln Southwest High School. DBAT Lincoln, developing beliefs, attitudes, and traditions on and off the field.
Stepping up first for Millard West is going to be the third baseman, Nick Van Tyker. He takes strike 1. Now the 0-1 pitch will be fouled off to the right side and quickly ahead in the count, 0-2 for Grand Island. The pitcher for Grand Island, number 22, Evan Guideson, a senior, 1-2 record this season. The pitch to Van Tyker is going to split the shortstop and third baseman, and they'll start the exact same way as they did in game 1. That's Millard West, at least, as Van Tyker gets on with a leadoff single. So despite being down 0-2 in the count, Guideson leaves one over the heart of the plate, and Van Tyker makes him pay. So he'll be on first base for Corey Kozad, the catcher. Kozad steps in from the right-handed batter's box, facing the righty arm of Guideson. Van Tyker leads off first. Expect Millard West to be pretty aggressive here early on, as the first pitch is going to be ripped to left field, down for a base hit, and Millard West is in business here with runners on first and second. We'll see if they decide to have a courtesy runner. They sure will. So Landon Horst will come on out for Corey Kozad as his courtesy runner, allowing Kozad to stay in the game defensively as the catcher. So just explaining courtesy runner, you're allowed at one base or one spot in your lineup a courtesy runner. Most of the time it's the catcher, because us catchers are a little slower at times. No problem about it. But Landon Horst now comes in as the courtesy runner. So that allowed Corey Kozad to go back into the dugout and then re-enter defensively throughout the game. So Horst is now at first base. So 2 singles to start the game for both Van Tyker and Kozad. Nobody out here, bottom of the first inning. The pitch, Tyson Lewis steps in and swings and misses at a breaking ball down the middle, 0-1. Lewis hit a solo shot over the right field fence in game 1, back in the third inning here in the bottom of the first. The 0-1 pitch from Guideson to Lewis as he checks the runner 3 separate times at second base. Now the pitch low and inside for ball 1, 1-1. 1-0 Grand Island out in front here early on. They had a nice RBI single from the top half of their order in the top of the first to take a 1-0 lead over Millard West. Now the 1-1 pitch to Lewis is going to be fouled back off to the left. Just a tad late on that one. That was in a similar spot as the one that he deposited about 345 feet over the right field fence. And just a tad late on that one. Not as many Millard West students stuck around for game 2, but a decent showing. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the 3-hole hitter, Tyson Lewis. The wind is at a complete standstill, according to the flags that are planted in left center field. Guidison comes set, looks once, and now delivers. The backdoor slider is going to catch the corner, and Tyson Lewis goes down looking for out number 1. That's a huge out for number 22, the pitcher, Evan Guidison, as he gets the future Razorback to go down watching. So out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. That brings up Peyton Moore. Moore hitting cleanup once again. Had a good couple at-bats in game 1. One of them was a hard line out to the left fielder. Had a nice piece of hitting. Now the runner at second goes Van Tyker. This one's going to be hit well into right center field. The center fielder tracking it down, and Barrientos grabs it. Van Tyker trying to rush and get to second base, and he will not get there in time as Van Tyker was off with the pitch. But now, here's the issue, is that the third baseman, Braden Lee, when Van Tyker was trying to get back to second base, he had to fight through the third baseman, Braden Lee. So Van Tyker stole, and then they're going to call interference on the third baseman, Braden Lee, on how he was trying to retreat. So he had to step on third base and then go all the way back to second base. And the third base umpire, Zach Lutz, called interference on the third baseman. And so now they're going to award, I believe, Van Tyker to third base. And Kirby Wells has to be careful here for Grand Island, the head coach, because he was in the face of Zach Lutz, the third base umpire, and he had to be drug away by 2 different players. So he's fortunate that Zach Lutz did not toss Kirby Wells out of this game. But now with that, Kozad will stay I guess it would be Horst as the courtesy runner. He will stay at first base. Van Tyker will be awarded third base. And so now Kirby Wells is back into the face of the home plate umpire. And now Millard West will still have 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Initially, the umpire said that both Landon Horst should get second base and Van Tyker should get second. And now, so Kirby Wells is still out there and now is getting told by the home plate umpire to get back in the dugout. They've heard enough. So the fly ball does count by Peyton Moore. So nice job in the outfield by Barrientos. But on the hit and run, Van Tyker rounds third base. On the way back to go touch second base, he is interfered with at third base. And so he is awarded now third. And Landon Horst, the courtesy runner, will be at first. So we're all sorted out here. Runners on the corners, 2 outs here, bottom of the first. And this brings up Caden Dreesen, the designated hitter. And now they're going to appeal at second base. And the Grand Island dugout doesn't really appreciate the fact that Van Tyker and Horst are still on the base paths. That's a bold call to make in that situation. Although it be just the bottom of the first, this could be a crucial moment in the game. Bottom of the first, 2 outs. Horst, he steals. Pitch is low in the zone. They throw down to second, and the runner, Van Tyker from third, will score. The ball bounces all the way into center field, and Millard West has tied the ball game up. And so Van Tyker, thanks to an interference call and then a throwdown on the steal to second base, shout out to the legs of Landon Horst. He steals second base, and on the throw, Van Tyker is able to score. So now the situation, 2 outs, 1 ball, no strike to the hitter, Caden Dreesen. Landon Horst, the courtesy runner for the catcher Kozad, is at second base. Here's Guidison's pitch on 1-0, hammered foul left side, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dreesen struggled a little bit in the first game. But here he is back in that DH spot here in game 2. Guidison, the 1-1 pitch. Slider low in the zone. Or I should say low in the dirt, rather. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Standing on deck is going to be number 18, Nixon Snyder. So Horst at second base, 2 outs. Guidison's pitch. Low in the dirt and away. 3 balls, 1 strike. So crazy first inning to begin things. But now we got it all sorted out. Horst is at second base, 3-1 count to the designated hitter, Caden Dreesen. Strike on the outside corner, 3-2. Seen a pretty friendly zone from home plate umpire Dale Hammond so far in this one. Still early, but a couple guys rung up on some favorable calls for the pitchers. We're all knotted up, 1 run apiece between Grand Island and Millard West. Grand Island won game 1, 7-5, and here's Guidison. Low in the dirt, ball 4 to Caden Dreesen. So Guidison loses Dreesen. That'll put Dreesen at first base. Horst is still at second, and now coming up to bat, number 18, the left fielder, Nixon Snyder. I'll say it again. Kirby Wells and the Grand Island coaching staff, fortunate that none of them were tossed. They were out there for a substantial amount of time bickering back and forth with the umpires. So now Nixon Snyder, the left fielder, comes up to the plate. Runners on first and second here, bottom of the first for Millard West. They tied it up. And now they have a runner in scoring position as well. First pitch of the at-bat is outside, ball 1. I should also correct myself. I said that Braden Lee was at first base who had the interference, as this one's hit well into left field. The left fielder going back. He's not going to get there, and that will bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. So that will give Millard West a 2-1 lead. Landon Horst will be the one to score. Caden Dreesen has to stay at third since he can only advance 2 bases, but a nice RBI ground rule double by the left fielder Nixon Snyder will bring in 1 run, and Millard West has a 2-1 lead. Don't forget, they led at the end of the first inning in game 1 as well, and Kirby Wells is going to talk things over, and while they do, we'll step aside as well. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field here in Omaha. 2-1 Millard West here in the bottom of the first inning. Brings up the seventh hitter in the lineup, number 30, Ripken Fleck. Fleck, just a sophomore, hitting .306 in 36 at-bats this season. Ripken Fleck steps in, the left-handed hitter. Breaking ball on the outside corner, good for strike one, 0-1 to Ripken Fleck. So Millard West has, in a unique way, taken the 2-1 lead here in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch, low and away, ball one, 1-1. Brady Braw is on deck for Millard West, but the 1-1 count here to Ripken Fleck is the only thing Guidison's worried about. Now, the 1-1 pitch, up and away, 2-1. So Ripken Fleck, the second baseman in today's game, taking over for Swierczek, who we saw in game one, swings and misses at the 2-1 offering. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Ripken Fleck. 2 outs here, bottom of the first inning. Guidison, the starter for Grand Island's already up over 20 pitches here in inning number 1. Grand Island real thin on available arms. The 2-2 offering, up and away, ball 3. So Flex worked a full count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. First base is open, but one of the hotter hitters for Millard West, Brady Braw, is on deck. Braw, this state tournament, 7 for 9 at the plate. The swing and a miss on the full count pitch from Guidison to Fleck, and Fleck goes down swinging to end the bottom of the first. But it doesn't come without damage as Millard West scores 2 runs, leaves 2 on base, and they lead 2-1 after 1 inning of play here from Tal Anderson Field. We'll be right back in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Leading off the top of the second inning for Grand Island will be the shortstop, Sam Dinkelman. Dinkelman, the left-handed hitter. Kirby Wells down at third base, still talking to third base umpire Zach Lutz before walking back to the coaching box. The first pitch of the inning from Caleb Lanfear is up, out of the zone, 1-0. Have a quick stoppage in play as the Millard West catcher, Corey Kozad, I believe got the wrong wristband on. So he's got to get the correct wristband with the correct combination of numbers on there. And we're ready to go here with a 1-0 count to Sam Dinkelman. Gage Gannon, the starting catcher, is on base as Tyler Douglas gets the game off. The 1-0 pitch swung on, fouled back over the press box. 1 ball, 1 strike. Riley Plummer, he'll come up third here in this inning. Getting the start at second base after starting the game on the mound in game 1. So once again, Grand Island won 7-5 in game 1. Now the 1-1 pitch is low and away for a ball, 2-1 to Sam Dinkelman. Coming up at 4 o'clock, it'll be the Lincoln East Spartans and the Elkhorn South Storm. As Dinkelman swings and misses, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that will be the same situation as this one, where if the Spartans can win that 4 o'clock game, they'll punch their ticket to the state title. But if they fall, then we'll have to play an if necessary game, as Dinkelman grounds one up the middle for a base hit. And the Islanders are in business with a leadoff single off the bat of Sam Dinkelman. So he took a 2-2 fastball low and inside, hammered it up the middle and out of the reach of the second baseman, Ripken Fleck. So that's a leadoff single here in the top of the second inning for Sam Dinkelman, bringing up the catcher, Gage Gannon. Gannon was the DH in game 1. So with Dinkelman at first, it's a righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch, a breaking ball, stayed up in the zone, ball 1. So with Dinkelman at first base, here's Gannon. Lanfear takes a breath. The pitch low and away, ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes here to the catcher today, Gage Gannon. And now the pitch, 2-0, is going to be low, out of the zone. 3 balls, no strikes to Gage Gannon. So once again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We saw the reason that Millard West was so easily able to give up 7 runs in that second inning in game 1, as it's a 4-pitch walk to Gage Gannon, was because of the walks. Their starting pitcher for Millard West, Brady Ferguson, only got through an inning and 2/3 before he had to be relieved by Trent Helms, who went the rest of the way. So Lanfear here in the top of the second inning with a 2-1 Millard West lead, has a Grand Island base runner on first and second base with nobody out here in the top of the second. Millard West not doing so bad on arms, not nearly as bad as Grand Island is, per se. But Lanfear comes set. Now showing bunt is the 8-hole hitter, Riley Plummer, pulling back and taking ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Runners on first and second, a clear sacrifice situation if you're the Islanders, as Plummer squares the bunt and takes called strike on the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Plummer started out the game real well on the mound in game 1. Now getting the start at second base here in game 2. Here's Lanfear. The pitch. Bunt. Directly foul. And you kind of saw that one coming, because as the pitch was being delivered, Plummer, his bat head, the top part of his bat, I should say, was angled downward towards the turf. And when that happens, you're most likely going to pop up the bunt attempt or not even be able to make contact with the baseball. 1-2 pitch. Plummer looking to bunt again. He'll pull back. They'll appeal over to first, and they'll say he did not go around and that he pulled back in time. Corey Kozad behind the dish, shaking his head, didn't think that it was that obvious or clear, and he thought Plummer went around. But it's a ball, 2 balls, 2 strikes, as Lanfear takes a breath. The pitch, and finally Plummer gets the bunt down to first base. The throw over to third is going to be in time for the force out. That was a really good bunt by Riley Plummer, but unfortunately Sam Dinkelman just didn't get a good jump or a good read on the bunt that he got it down at second base. Wasn't getting very far off the bag, which allowed Peyton Moore, the first baseman for Millard West, to throw the force out over at third base. I mean, there's always a solution. It's a little bit more of a difficult bunt to execute if you're a right-handed hitter, but you could bunt it down the third base line, forcing that third baseman to evacuate third base and leaving it open for the base runner and having to take the easy out at first base. But the easier bunt was laid down there, and it costs Grand Island the runner at third. So same situation, just with 1 out. Runners on first and second for Kevin Ramos, who swings at the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Plummer, his at-bat goes down as a fielder's choice, and Dinkelman gets out at third base for the first out of the inning. Gannon, in the process, moved to second on the fielder's choice. So runners on first and second here with 1 out for Kevin Ramos, the 9-hole. As he hits this one, rolls over on a ground ball to Peyton Moore. He throws to second for 1, and nobody was over at first base in time for Tyson Lewis to try to turn 2. So Ramos, reaches on the fielder's choice as well. Out at second base is Riley Plummer on the force as that ground ball took Peyton Moore, the first baseman, to his right towards second base. So smart decision there on the force out. And Ramos reaches first base on the fielder's choice. So runners on the corners, Grand Island down by 1. 2-1 the score, Millard West ahead. For the leadoff hitter, Broxton Barrientos. Barrientos swings and fouls the first one back, 0-1. Barrientos walked to start the game and then came around to score the first run of the ball game here just a while ago in the first inning. The slider is going to be hit into shallow center field. Williams coming over, and he makes the catch to retire Broxton Barrientos on the flyout to center field. Grand Island scores no runs on 1 hit. They leave 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning with the Millard West Wildcats, the 1 seed, leading the 8 seed Islanders here by a score of 2-1. We'll be right back in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeline a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
Here in the bottom of the second inning, it will be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for Millard West. Brady Braw, Jackson Williams, and then the top of the order with Nick Van Tyker. Evan Gideson goes back out onto the mound for Grand Island with the Islanders trailing 2-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. And here's the first pitch of the half inning as it's going to be fouled back by Braw, 0-1. I want to thank our sponsors for their support of high school baseball. A1 Automotive, the Carpe Diem team of Nebraska Realty, Independence Built, the NDOT Highway Safety Office, DBAT Lincoln, and High Electric. The 0-1 pitch to Braw is going to be chopped to shortstop, fielded cleanly, thrown across the diamond in time. Braw somewhat half-heartedly swung at that one. It was almost like he didn't really want to swing, tried to hold back, but the ball was hit, and it grounded out to the shortstop Dinkelman for the first out of the second inning. So Braw goes 6-3 on the putout for out number 1, and Jackson Williams will come up to the plate. Getting the start in center field, Jackson Williams, heck of a football player as well. Here's the first pitch to Williams. Swung on and hammered foul, left side, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike here to the 9-hole hitter Jackson Williams as he watches a slider go outside the zone, 1-1. So the Islanders put up 1 run in the top of the first inning. The Wildcats put up 2 in the bottom of the first. Here's the 1-1 offering from Gideson. low in the dirt, ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike here to Jackson Williams as he has to fight this fastball on the inside part of the plate off as it's going to bounce on the dugout and go into the student section. So now that makes the count 2 balls, 2 strikes here to the 9-hole hitter. Elkhorn South has arrived for their game here at 4 p.m. Lincoln East coaching staff arrived a couple hours ago. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Williams. The pitch swung on. That's going to hook foul, but would have been an easy double for Jackson Williams if it would have been able to stay inside that line. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Here's Evan Guidison's 2-2 offering. Slider, low out of the zone. He kind of squatted down because he thought he had a strike 3 call there, but Dale Hammond behind the dish thought otherwise. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jackson Williams, a guy that if you're Grand Island, you want to keep off the base paths. He's a menace on that base path. As this one's going to be hammered to left field, the left fielder ranging over and makes the catch is Carson Lighting out there in left field for out number 2. So Jackson Williams goes down on a fly out to the left fielder for out number 2, brings up the top of the order, and Nick Ventiker. Ventiker, the future Creighton Blue Jay. So now, Ventiker, who singled to start the game in the 1st inning, comes up with 2 outs and nobody on. Hits this one towards the right side. This one will get out of play in the fan section and hit a seat. Guy was trying to make a play across the aisle, but unable to do so. So now no balls, 1 strike here to Nick Ventiker. Guidison out of the windup, hits this one well down the left side, and that's going to hook foul for a foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Nick Ventiker. Ventiker on the year, a junior, hitting .358. Has 2 home runs here in the tournament that he hit against Grand Island last Friday to give him a total of 4 on the year. Guidison tries to paint that outside corner, unable to do so. Ball 2. Guidison really using Dale Hammond, the home plate umpire's wider zone to his advantage as the pitch is going to be popped up into shallow right field, and the second baseman coming over to make a play on it. Nice play there by Riley Plummer in shallow right field to retire Ventiker for the 3rd out here in the 2nd inning. We head to the top of the 3rd with your score, Millard West 2, Grand Island 1. Coming up in the Grand Island half of the 3rd inning, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Evans, Aarons, and Lighting all due up for Grand Island here in the visitor half of the 3rd inning. We'll be right back from Omaha on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121. Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for DBAT Lincoln. Summer is quickly approaching and there's no better way to spend your days than at DBAT Lincoln summer camps for players 13 years and younger. Give your baseball or softball player the chance to improve their hitting, fielding, and base running skills from the best instructors in Lincoln. Sign up now because spots are limited. And if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, you will receive 20% off your entire enrollment. For more information or to sign up, call DBAT Lincoln at 402-882-3228 or visit their location 2 blocks south of Lincoln Southwest High School. DBAT Lincoln, developing beliefs, attitudes, and traditions on and off the field.
Back here at Tal Anderson Field, glad to have you with us as we head to the top of the third inning. Nick Sainert with you on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Thanks to Bach and Austin and Rico for holding things back at the studio. We are approaching the 2 o'clock hour here on a Wednesday from Tal Anderson Field. As for Grand Island in the top of the third inning, Cohen Evans will lead things off. He sacrificed his at-bat back in the first inning to move the Barrientos, the runner at first at the time, over to second base. So here he is as he lines it directly to the Millard West dugout, and a couple coaches have to do a nice little 1-2 step to get out of the way of that one. So 0-1 as Caleb Lanfear starts on top. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes to the 2-hole hitter, Cohen Evans, here in the top of the third. So Lanfear moving quickly here through these last couple innings as he gets Evans to swing and miss. They'll have to complete the play at first base on the drop third strike. And that is going to be out number 1 here in the third inning. So Cohen Evans goes down on strikes, the younger brother of Husker baseball player Cole Evans, for the first out in the top of the third inning. Brings up E.J. Ahrens. Ahrens struck out looking in the first inning. Now, the first pitch of the at-bat's going to be thrown behind Ahrens for a ball, 1-0. Lanfear, the pitch, low and away, ball 2 rather. So 2 balls, no strikes. As seems like the zone maybe tightened up just a hair here in the later innings. Low and in, ball 3. Lanfear walked a guy in the first inning. That was the leadoff hitter, Broxton Barrientos. He walked a guy in the second inning, Gage Gannon. And now 1 pitch away from doing the same thing here in the third. As he throws one right down the middle for a strike, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike to the 3 hitter in the lineup, E.J. Ahrens. The pitch swung on, fouled hard, down outside the concourse on the right side of the field. And Ahrens has now worked a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes as Lanfear has come all the way back. Lanfear working from the windup, lifts the glove over his head, delivers on 3-2. It's fouled off to the right side once again off the handle of the bat. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Caleb Lanfear, the pitcher for Millard West, to E.J. Ahrens, the Grand Island hitter. The delivery, this one's skied high. It's going to potentially stay in play, and Corey Kozad can't get the pop-up in his mitt. So E.J. Ahrens will get another opportunity as Kozad unable to make the catch in foul territory. He seemed to have a good idea of where it was going to land. He settled under it and then at the last moment had to slide on one knee and miss the potential out. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll do it again. Carson Lighting is on deck. So now once again, a 3-2 pitch here from Caleb Lanfear. The delivery on 3-2. And it's going to be just outside. A slider. Corey Kozad popped up like he was about ready to throw it around the horn because he thought it was going to be a strikeout, but Dale Hammond doesn't give it to him. And so it's ball 4. So it'll be a 1-out walk for E.J. Ahrens. So he'll occupy first base as Carson Lighting, a guy who had an RBI single back in the first, will come up to the plate. First pitch, low and away, ball 1. Two to one, Millard West with a 1-run advantage over Grand Island. The 1-0 pitch is going to be fouled off back to the net. 1 ball, 1 strike. So we'll go ahead and have a 4 p.m. game between Lincoln East and Elkhorn South, and then the if necessary game will be tonight following that one. Low and away on the 1-1 offering, 2-1. Carson Lighting getting the start in left field for game 2. He was also out there for game 1 as well. E.J. Ahrens occupies first after the 1-out walk from Lanphier. Now the 2-1 pitch from Lanphier is in the dirt. It goes between the legs of Kozad, but fortunately enough for Kozad, the ball ricocheted off the home plate umpire and kind of just fell right behind home plate. So now Kozad will call times to give the home plate umpire Hammond some breaths to just relax after getting drilled in the leg. So 3 balls, 1 strike here to Carson Lighting here in the top of the 3rd inning. Runner on first is Ahrens. The pitch hit right side foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll have another full count coming up here for Carson Lighting. Millard West going to have to see what they want to do with Lanphier as he's approaching 60 pitches already through 2 1/3. Some good at-bats being had by the Grand Island hitters. Lanphier, as the runner goes, swing and a miss. The throw down to second is going to be high, and we're going to have batter interference as Carson Lighting walked across the plate as Corey Kozad tried to throw down to second base. And now what's going to be interesting is here Kirby Wells, who got mad and frustrated when there was interference on the third baseman for Grand Island. Now Grand Island gets called for batter interference on the throw down to second. So that will end the inning as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. The score, Millard West 2, Grand Island 1. We move to the home half of the 3rd. Due up for Millard West in the bottom of the 3rd. It will be Kozad, Lewis, and more. 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up for the Wildcats here in just a moment on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field here in Omaha. 2-1 Millard West as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Steps in Corey Kozad, the catcher, as he rips this one into left field. And catching it on the line is Carson Lighting for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Bringing up the shortstop, number 9, Tyson Lewis. Kozad can't be frustrated with that at bat. Jumped on a first pitch fastball and lined it out to left. So now it's Tyson Lewis. The first pitch of the at bat, low and away, ball one. Lewis struck out looking back in the first inning, and now watches ball two outside, 2-0. Flag's still not moving a whole lot here in left center. We've approached 80 degrees as Lewis takes a big hack at that one. Comes up empty, 2 balls, 1 strike. Tyson Lewis hit a solo shot back in the third inning of game 1. And now here we are in the third inning with Tyson Lewis. Backdoor slider didn't come back far enough. 3 balls, 1 strike. And this is where you really got to be careful facing a lot of these guys in the Millard West lineup, but especially Tyson Lewis. 3-1 pitch from Guidison. Swung on. That's going to tail towards left center field and be down for a base hit as Barrientos in center field tracks it down, but it's a 1-out single for Tyson Lewis. He took a fastball on the outer half, and it started slicing to left center field. And a nice job there by Lewis to work a 1-out single. So that brings up Peyton Moore, the first baseman. He flew out to center back in the first inning. Now has Lewis on at first base with 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Millard West still trying to extend their lead in this one. Guidison pitching from the stretch. Lewis goes. The throw down from Gannon is going to be not in time as Tyson Lewis steals second base, and Millard West will have Lewis in scoring position here with 1 out in the third. It was a strike right down Broadway on Peyton Moore as he held back his swing. 0-1. So now Guidison with a runner in scoring position, trying to work out of a little bit of trouble. 1 out here in the bottom of the third. The pitch on 0-1 is going to hit off the knee pad of Gannon behind the plate and skip to the right, allowing Lewis to advance to third. So that'll be a wild pitch that Lewis was able to advance on. And now, before Guidison could blink, and in 2 pitches, Tyson Lewis has moved up 180 feet from first to third. Just 90 feet away from scoring at third base is Tyson Lewis, and now the cleanup hitter with a 1-1 count at the plate, Peyton Moore. Righty hitter versus the righty pitcher of Evan Guidison. Guidison working from the windup with Lewis on third. The pitch, swing and a miss for Peyton Moore on a slider on the outer half. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caden Dreesen is on deck. He walked back in the first inning. Dreesen, the designated hitter, getting ready to come up to the plate. The 1-2 pitch swung on and nicked foul as it reaches the seats, but wasn't hit very hard as Moore just had to kind of lunge out in front of that slider and foul it back. So we'll do it again at 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-1 the score. Millard West out in front by a run. Lewis at third base. Here's the 1-2 offering from Guidison. Fouled off once again. I think this one will reach the seats down the first base line, and it sure will. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 6th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Peyton Moore. Guidison gripping the ball in his glove, and here we go with the 1-2 offering. The slider swung on and missed. Peyton Moore, his struggles today continue as he strikes out for out number 2 in the bottom of the third. Big strikeout by Evan Guidison. So now that brings the designated hitter, Caden Dreesen, up to the plate. Dreesen, like I mentioned, walked back in the first. So Dreesen getting ready. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Low and outside. The catcher lost where the baseball was. It was in his glove the entire time. Lewis unable to come home on that one. Ball in the dirt, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes here for Evan Guidison, the Grand Island pitcher, trying to get out of the bottom of the third. The pitch upstairs. Guidison, not a fan of that one, is shaking his head on the way back. So ball 2-0. Guidison already at 50 pitches. And so I would argue the pitch count for Grand Island a little more serious than maybe Millard West, as the 2-0 pitch is low in the dirt, ball 3. Just because if you think about it, obviously Grand Island's had to play one more entire game than Millard West has. Millard West had yesterday off. Both teams had to use 2 pitchers in game 1, as the 3-0 pitch is going to be up and in for ball 4, and Dreesen draws his second walk of the day. So now runners on the corners, as Lewis is at third, Dreesen is at first. They're going to have a pinch runner come in for Caden Dreesen. The runner at first will now be number 27, Chance Roberts, the sophomore. So Roberts will be at first, Tyson Lewis at third, and Nixon Snyder steps in for his second at-bat of the game. He had an RBI double back in the first inning. Evan Guidison just trying to get out of this bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. Slider stays outside. Ball 1. Grand Island Nation getting a little antsy, as it seems like this strike zone has shrunk exponentially here. So runners on the corners for Millard West. The Wildcats have a 2-1 lead over Grand Island. The 1-0 pitch is going to be way outside, and now Chance Roberts will steal second with no throw. So Tyson Lewis stays put at third. Roberts, since there was no throw to second, no contest, won't get credited for the stolen base. And so here, Nixon Snyder has an opportunity to drive in a couple more runs with a base knock. Runners on second and third, 2-0 pitch. Swung on, floated into center field, fairly routine. Barrientos is under it and hauls it in for out number 3. So despite a little traffic on the bases, Millard West puts up a 0 here in the bottom of the third inning. We head to the fourth with Grand Island trailing 2-1 here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models, from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln. Always honest answers.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954. Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field here in Omaha. We head to the top of the fourth inning. Millard West leads 2-1 against Grand Island. In a winner-take-all game, the winner advances to the state championship on Friday. The loser goes home.
So Caleb Lanphier, the pitch here to Braden Lee is going to be swung on and missed, 0-1. So here in the fourth, Braden Lee struck out looking back in the first. Here's the second pitch, 0-1, ball in the dirt, 1-1. Lanphier so far pretty good, struggled to locate at times as he fires across the plate, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Struggled to locate at times, but 62 pitches through 3 innings isn't horrible, as this one's going to be swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again at 2-2. So Lanphier on the mound throws pretty hard. Just a senior who 3-2 on the year. Ball 3 outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2 record, 3.13 ERA on the year for Caleb Lanphier on the bump, as the 3-2 pitches swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again. So once again, Lanphier working out of the windup here is now over 65 pitches, and it's strike 3 called on the inner half. Lanphier stares Braden Lee back to the dugout as Lee thought that was ball 4. So Lanphier now walking all the way around the mound, and that's going to be strike 3 for Caleb Lanphier on the mound. So that brings up Sam Dinkelman. Dinkelman, he was able to single and get to second base in the second inning, but now on the first pitch, he hits a base knock into right field for a 1-out single. So Dinkelman is 2 for 2 against Lanphier, and he takes that first pitch fastball into right field in between the first and second baseman, down for a base hit. 2-1 here in the top of the 4th inning between Millard West and Grand Island. Winner of this game goes to the state championship. The pitch upstairs, 1-0. So Dinkelman's at first, and now 2-0 after the 1-0 pitch is in the dirt to Gage Gannon, the catcher today. He was the designated hitter in game 1. And now the 2-0 offering from Lanphier is inside corner, called for a strike, 2-1. Lanphier's been able to establish that inside corner. That's where he just struck out Braden Lee on just a moment ago. So Dinkelman on first with 1 out. This one's going to be skied high into right field. Shallow right field. The right fielder coming in and hauling it in is Brady Bra with out number 2. So that brings up number 4, the second baseman, Riley Plummer, as Dinkelman had to retreat to first base. So Riley Plummer, who hit into a fielder's choice back in the second inning, comes up with Dinkelman on first base and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Lanphier fires home, swung on and missed. No balls, 1 strike. It is 81 degrees here at Tal Anderson Field. Lanphier, the 0-1, just outside, ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Riley Plummer. Kirby Wells showing the sign at first. And now we're going to have a balk called on Caleb Lanphier. So the third base umpire, Zach Lutz, was the one who called the balk on Caleb Lanphier, awarding Dinkelman second base. So 1 ball, 1 strike, as now Dinkelman's in scoring position. Lanphier takes a breath, fires the breaking ball down the middle for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Riley Plummer, the 8 hitter in this Grand Island lineup. The 1-2 pitch, strike three on the outside corner. As now the throw from around the horn goes into the outfield, so they'll have to go grab that baseball to play with here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. But after 3.5 innings played, Millard West still leads 2-1 here as they will send hitters 7, 8, and 9 up to the plate when we come back here in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121. Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for DBAT Lincoln. Summer is quickly approaching and there's no better way to spend your days than at DBAT Lincoln summer camps for players 13 years and younger. Give your baseball or softball player the chance to improve their hitting, fielding, and base running skills from the best instructors in Lincoln. Sign up now because spots are limited. And if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, you will receive 20% off your entire enrollment. For more information or to sign up, call DBAT Lincoln at 402-882-3228 or visit their location 2 blocks south of Lincoln Southwest High School. DBAT Lincoln, developing beliefs, attitudes, and traditions on and off the field.
Nick Sander back with you as 7, 8, and 9 hitters will come up to the plate here in the bottom of the fourth inning for Millard West. Evan Guidison back out onto the mound for the Islanders. Ripken Fleck is the first hitter to come to the plate. He struck out swinging back in the first. The 1-0 pitch is just a hair outside, 2 balls, no strikes here early on to Ripken Fleck. Love to do this as we broadcast high school sports. Let me know where you're listening from. Love to shout you guys out as Ripken Fleck hits this one high into right center field. This one will be caught easily by Aarons for the first out of the inning, but you know the number, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Let me know where you're listening from. What are you up to today on a Wednesday afternoon? 402-464-5685. Appreciate you guys spending your basically entire week so far with me on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And last Friday, if you count those 4 games that we had. The one out here in the bottom of the fourth inning to Brady Braw, the 8 hitter in the Millard West lineup. Braw grounded out to the shortstop back in inning number 2. The pitch swung on and missed, and quickly down in the count is Braw 0-2. So Guidison been able to settle down into a little bit of a groove. Here as he retired Ripken Fleck on 3 pitches and now has Brady Braw down in the count early on. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, it's held on the corner by the catcher Gannon, but the home plate umpire Dale Hammond says, nope, that's just a little outside, so ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brady Braw. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, 2-1 Wildcats. Braw reaches out, lunges forward, and fouls this one off to the right side. We'll do it again at 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Braw, once again, getting the start in right field. The guy that is missing out of this Millard West lineup is Drew Derrimer, the Iowa Hawkeye commit. And I have a feeling that either Steve Fry, the head coach for Millard West, is either holding him out in case they needed him in a relief appearance or to just give him an extra little bit of rest before they call his number for most likely if they make the state championship game. As the 1-2 offering is low and outside, 2-2. So now Guidison, working from the windup, fires home. The 2-2 pitch, strike 3 on the outside corner. That one looked a little worse than the one that was called a ball on 0-2. It looked a little bit lower in the zone, same spot left to right for that matter. But no matter what, Brady Braw now goes down looking for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th. So that brings up the 9-hole hitter, Jackson Williams, the starting center fielder. Guidison fires, and he gets Williams to go around, I believe, for a strike. Yes, they're going to say that he went around. Strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike. Guidison been able to settle down here just at 65 pitches through 3 2/3. So more than likely be only the Guidison's only appearance here in the state tournament. Williams thought about dropping down a bunt, but pulled back and took ball 1 on just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th inning. 2-1 Millard West in a winner-take-all game. The 1-1 pitch, called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strike to Jackson Williams. We'll see if Guidison goes right back to that outside corner that he does. Slider, swing and a miss. Guidison looks back at Millard West's dugout and now gets a warning from the home plate umpire, Dale Hammond, as Guidison said something to the Wildcat dugout, and the home plate umpire caught it and nipped it right in the bud right away. So he'll walk back to the dugout with no repercussions. We head to the 5th inning, top of the 5th coming up for Grand Island. They will send hitters 9, 1, and 2 to the dish. Ramos, Barrientos, and Cohen Evans will all come up to the plate. We are through 4 innings with Millard West leading 2-1 over the Islanders of Grand Island from Omaha here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field. Shout out to you guys listening here. High school baseball, Class A state tournament. Big thanks to Harold Spheres for checking in. Says, I do emergency medical delivery, so I'm always in my car during the day working. You all make the day go faster, so thanks 93.7. You betcha. Glad we could help out, and thanks for all you do, Harold. Shout out to Drumstick listening in Firth, Nebraska. Cubsker checking in from Kansas. Got Notorious B.I.B. listening in Bennett, and he's doing yard work. Got a good day for it, man. If it's anything like it is up here in Omaha, it's around 80 degrees with no wind. Obviously, I haven't been in Lincoln since about 6:30 this morning, so not really sure, but it's a beautiful day for golfing. I know that, but we are on a ball field. Kevin Ramos will be the first Grand Island Islander hitter up to bat. He evened up a count, 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the 5th inning. Shout out to Jeremy the Grill Master checking in at work. He says, I'm with you, Nick. I appreciate that, Jeremy. As the 2-2 pitch inside to Ramos, he's got it all full at 3-2. And then last but certainly not least, Thomas and Lincoln, one of the loyal listeners here, Syracuse, Nebraska. Shout out to Thomas listening in Syracuse. As Ramos strikes out, swinging on a fastball down the heart of the plate for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning. So Grand Island now turns the lineup over, and Broxton Barrientos will come up to the plate. Barrientos walked back in the first and ended up scoring the lone run so far for Grand Island. And then flied out to the center fielder in the second inning. And Barrientos takes strike one on the outside corner, 0-1. So once again, feel free to chime in. Let me know where you're hanging out, what you're up to. Keep me company here as we figure out and learn who's going to be playing in the state championship game on Friday night. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch from Lanphier, low in the dirt, 2-1. This is the one day I will say that here at Tal Anderson, it's a bummer that the windows don't open up. The press box next to me that has the writers in it, that one has a window that opens up. Unfortunately, mine does not. So feel like we're kind of in a box. It looks pretty outside. It looks nice. And every time in between innings or in between games, I'll step outside, but feel the breeze as Barrientos draws a 5-pitch walk. So he'll be on first base with 1 out. Shout out to Joe B. Says he's hanging out in Lincoln, just working. Appreciate the support, Joe B. Joe B, I'm heading to Milford Lake this weekend in Kansas. So today will be my final day calling high school baseball. Somebody else at the ticket will have the state championship game for you on Friday night at 7. That one from Tal Anderson Field here in Omaha. But today will be my final day calling high school baseball for the week. Still got a little bit of time left with you guys, as here's a 1-1 count now to Cohen Evans, the 2-hole hitter in the Grand Island lineup. So 1 ball, 1 strike as Caleb Lanphier still on the bump for Millard West. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on, grounded to the second, shortstop, chance for 2 to second for 1 to first, not in time as Cohen Evans beats the throw out at first base. Tyson Lewis and the second baseman, Ripken Fleck, were a little slow to get that double play attempt started, so they only got the 1 out at second. But in the fielder's choice, Cohen Evans reaches first, and so that brings up E.J. Ahrens with a runner on first and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. You want to talk about the tale of 2 games. In game 1, there were 9 combined errors, 5 for Grand Island, 4 for Millard West, as it's strike 1 on the outside corner to E.J. Ahrens, 0-1. Here in the second game, no errors for either side. Just a really clean baseball game that sees a 2-1 score in favor of the Wildcats on the board. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. The pitch to Ahrens, swung on and missed on another slider, low and away, 0-2. Evans occupying first base. The pitch, low and away, ball 1. I think some of the players down there, the hitters more importantly, still trying to figure out this zone. And you're in the top of the 5th inning, still trying to figure out what's a strike and what's not. As Ahrens hits this one off the end of his bat, it'll trickle foul. Kozad was trying to kick it fair, but obviously does not count. So we'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strike to E.J. Ahrens, the 3-hole hitter for Grand Island. On the pitch, on the previous 1-2, Evans attempted to swipe second. Doesn't go here. And now Ahrens strikes out swinging on a pitch inside for strike 3. E.J. Ahrens now getting called out by the umpire for John to the Millard West dugout. So there's been a little bit of animosity, John, back and forth, a little bit of trash talk, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but home plate umpire Dale Hammond trying to get a hold of it as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Nothing doing for Grand Island in the top half of the 5th. We'll see if Millard West can extend their 1-run lead here in the bottom half of the 5th inning in 60 seconds on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121. Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for DBAT Lincoln. Summer is quickly approaching and there's no better way to spend your days than at DBAT Lincoln summer camps for players 13 years and younger. Give your baseball or softball player the chance to improve their hitting, fielding, and base running skills from the best instructors in Lincoln. Sign up now because spots are limited. And if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, you will receive 20% off your entire enrollment. For more information or to sign up, call DBAT Lincoln at 402-882-3228 or visit their location 2 blocks south of Lincoln Southwest High School. DBAT Lincoln, developing beliefs, attitudes, and traditions on and off the field. Back here at Tal Anderson Field as Evan Guidison is back out on the mound for Grand Island. He starts off Nick Van Tyker with a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch outside, ball 2-0 to the Creighton Blue Jay commit Nick Van Tyker. Gets the start at third base today, does Van Tyker. He has singled back in the first and then flew out to the second baseman in the second. Here's a 2-0 fastball, fouled off to the right. It'll hit the bleachers and then bounce onto the concourse here in Omaha for strike one. Every single foul ball, the PA announcer is required to say a little script here. As Van Tyker drills this one up the middle, he'll have a leadoff single. As Van Tyker has had a good day throughout games 1 and 2. But it's funny because you hear the same lines, the same words, every single foul ball. And throughout the at-bat, there could be like 12,000 foul balls. So you can hear the same thing over and over again, every single foul ball. Shout out to my man, Mason Bennett, for listening. Mason, an assistant coach over at Nebraska Westland, coaches baseball over there. We're going to be in a wedding together next Saturday. Our mutual buddy is getting married. Back here at Tal Anderson Field, leadoff single for Van Tyker. So here, next up is Corey Kozad. Kozad, 1 for 2 today. He singled back in the first and then lined out hard to the left fielder, and now he takes a pitch off the elbow. And shout out to my man Corey Kozad. Doesn't have an elbow guard on or anything. Just took that one right off the bone. Seems to be doing okay. They'll probably send Horst into courtesy run. And with that, they'll also make a substitution at second base. So a couple runners will come in as subs. I didn't get to see who came in for Nick Van Tyker at second, but Landon Horst will be the usual suspect to be the courtesy runner on first base. It's going to be a mound visit here, as it looks like Nick Van Tyker may head on down to the bullpen, as Millard West is going to send a couple bodies down there to the left field bullpen here at Tal. We've got a couple more shout-outs to do. Once again, you can participate. Love to have you guys. I've been in Omaha, man. It was so much fun. Tuesday, got to stop in the studio. Obviously, did the show with Raph on the drive, and that was enjoyable because, gosh, I hadn't seen anybody since the previous Thursday. So here we are. You know, we drive to Omaha and hang out in Omaha. I hear Bach and Rico and Austin and Harrison back in the studio. Don't get to see them, though. So, no, good to know that people are out there keeping the folks company. So runners on first and second after the hit by pitch to Corey Kozad. Horst will be the courtesy runner at first base. Brings up
Tyson Lewis, the left-handed hitter, as he watches ball one go by, 1-0. Guidison, the right-handed pitcher, Lewis, the left-handed hitter. 1 ball, no strikes. Guidison working from the stretch. The pitch, low and away, ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. Shout out to Thunderknock Collins. He says, just chilling in Lincoln, having a beverage and working on my tan. Nice job. Sounds like a good way to spend a Wednesday afternoon. Having a beverage and working on your tan. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Tyson Lewis is going to get drilled by Guidison as he hits 2 batters in a row, and Lewis will take first base. So with that, the runner at second will move to third. Horst will move to second. And now Tyson Lewis will occupy first base. Brings up the cleanup hitter, as we may have... We're having a little bit of miscommunication. So normally Peyton Moore would be the pinch hitter. Or excuse me, would be the 4th hitter in the lineup. But now we might have a change really quickly. Kirby Wells, the manager for Grand Island's going to make a change of pitcher. So we're going to have a fresh arm in here. We'll tell you about him coming up in a couple minutes here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here, summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Nick Sander back with you from Tal Anderson Field. The new arm in for Grand Island is going to be a familiar name if you were listening with us in Game 1. It's Caden Kusela. So Caden Kusela had some time in the first game, came in relief for for Riley Plummer. Now he inherits the bases loaded. Here's a bunt. It's going to be popped up in foul territory, and luckily for the Millard West base runners, it was just out of the reach of Ramos's glove. The pinch hitter here for Millard West is number 21, Tanner Wilbeck. Wilbeck saw an at-bat in Game 1 as well. He's pinch hitting for Peyton Moore here. So Kusela on the mound, the 0-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes. Here to the pinch hitter, Tanner Wilbeck. The 0-1 was a called strike on the outside corner. Now the 0-2 pitch, just a little farther outside, ball 1. Bases are loaded. Lewis is at first base after a hit by pitch. The courtesy runner, Landon Horst, is at second base after Corey Kozad got hit by a pitch. And then the pinch runner, Ben Sturbins, for Van Tyker, is at third base. The pitch here from Cusella, going to be ripped foul right side. We'll do it again at 1-2. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. An opportunity for Millard West to really tack on some runs and open this one up. Real clean game after a really sloppy game 1. The runner at second base, Horst, is all the way halfway to third, I should say, about 45 feet in the baseline, but that's because the entire infield for Grand Island is playing in to cut down the runner at home. So he is playing directly behind the shortstop, just so a base hit here into the outfield will score at least 2. Here's the pitch, up and in, ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here to the pinch hitter, Tanner Wilbeck. Wilbeck, a senior, does a little bit of pitching as well as infield work. Hitting .250 this season, only 1 run driven in. Has a big opportunity to add to that total here. 2-2, chopped left side of the third baseman. Throw across the diamond for 1 is going to be in time. Ramos could not handle it cleanly to be able to throw it to home. And he just took the safe out at first base. So that will work for Tanner Wilbeck, who on a fielder's choice, it's 5-3 on the putout, but Wilbeck will get an RBI added to his total here for out number 1. That brings up Caden Dreesen. Dreesen, the designated hitter, he has walked both times here today. 3-1 the score. Millard West out in front by 2 over Grand Island. Grand Island beat Millard West 7-5 in game 1 thanks to a 7-run second inning, as the first pitch in to Dreesen is a strike, 0-1. Without that 7-run second inning, Grand Island, they're on their bus ride back home right now. Millard West would have had a spot in the state championship. The winner of this one does. Here's a bunt attempt as a safety squeeze is going to be bunted down the first base line, and what a bunt by Caden Dreesen. As Dreesen gets it perfectly down the first base line, Landon Horst scores from third, and Dreesen is safe at first base. Millard West extends their lead 4-1 on the single and RBI from Caden Dreesen. Tell you what, when the team can execute bunts, and in a situation like this, in the matter of a 1-run or 2-run ball game, you can really apply some pressure, as the first pitch to Nixon Snyder is going to be low and away for a ball, 1-0. So in this inning, Ben Sturbins as well as Landon Horst have come in to score. Now on third base is Lewis, as he advanced from first to third on that safety squeeze attempt. That ended up working and paying off in the form of an RBI single for Caden Dreesen. Nixon Snyder ahead 1-0 in the count, facing Caden Cusella on the mound. The pitch on 1-0 swung on and missed by Nixon Snyder. It was a slider that I think Nixon Snyder, Snyder thought was going to come drift into the zone, ended up staying higher in the zone and He whiffed through it. Try to say that 10 times fast. Slider and Snyder. The 1-1 pitch, and that's going to be a balk on Caden Cusella. A great job by Caden Dreesen at first base. Dreesen was dancing, and a little bit of a twitch over at first base when Caden Cusella was checking on him after he had already come set, forced Cusella to kind of buckle his knee a little bit, and he drew the balk on Cusella. So with that, Lewis now comes in to score, and Dreesen is at second base. It's 5-1 here in the bottom of the fifth inning as the 1-1 pitch is called a strike on the inside corner, 1-2 to Nixon Snyder. One ball, two strikes. One out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Here's the pitch from Cusella, swung on and foul tipped into the glove for strike three on a nice pitch from Cusella for out number two. So now that brings up Ripken Fleck here in the bottom of the fifth. Fleck struck out swinging in the first and flew out to the right fielder back in the fourth. The lefty hitter versus the righty pitcher. Runner at second is Caden Dreesen, and Fleck will take strike one on the outside corner, 0-1. Shout out to Bone listening from his dump truck. He says, "Go Spartans." Well, the Spartans going to be having their first pitch in about an hour and 20 minutes against the Elkhorn South Storm. The Spartans have a chance to face the winner of this game in the state title on Friday. Also, Kirk in Kentucky listening. How about that? We got a fella in Kentucky. So shout out to all the folks out there. Appreciate you guys tuning in. One ball, one strike to count here to Ripken Fleck after the 0-1 pitch is low and out of the zone in the dirt. Makes it 1-1. One ball, one strike. The pitch swung on, muscled off, foul to the left for a foul ball. One ball, two strikes now to Ripken Fleck, the Wildcats' 7-hole hitter. So Caden Dreesen is at second base. Caden Cusella, the pitch, 1-2, swing and a miss. And Cusella is able to strike out Ripken Fleck, swinging for out number three. We head to the top of the sixth inning. In the top of the sixth, it'll be hitters 3, 4, and 5 due up for Grand Island. In the top of the sixth, it'll be hitters 4, 5, and 6 in the top of the sixth. Millard West tacks on 3 runs there in the bottom of the fifth inning. They now lead it 5-1 over the Islanders here in Omaha on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeling a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Back here from the home of the Omaha Mavericks baseball team, Tal Anderson Field. We're going to try to get it right today. Exarban Village. I channeled my inner Harry Potter yesterday, and I said Azkaban Village. But we are just about a block away from the Exarban Village here in Omaha, Baxter Arena, the site of UNO men's hockey is directly over right field. But right here we are at Tal Anderson Field. The softball field is directly behind me as well. It's a really cool complex here. Just these two fields, but relatively new in the last few years. Got some cool sculptures. I was walking around in between games 1 and 2, and they got a really cool. Now, Haymarket Park having the baseballs out in the front is pretty neat, but they got a really cool sculpture for the baseball and softball teams here as the leadoff hitter in the top of the 6th inning, Lighting, hits one up the middle for a base knock. He gets on for the leadoff single. But there's been a lot of energy around the complex these last couple of days. The Omaha softball team were the 2021 Summit League champions. So they earned an automatic bid into the NCAA Women's College Softball Tournament. And so it's been a pretty exciting couple of days around the complex. When we got here yesterday, they were practicing over there on the softball field. So super cool to kind of know what's going on here, as now we'll have a hit by pitch. Braden Lee takes it right in the lead shoulder. So now, interestingly enough, Grand Island has runners on first and second base with nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. So Braden Lee takes a hit by pitch. He'll be on first base, and Lighting will now move up to second base. We're going to have a new arm on the mound as Millard West is making a change. They still lead at 5-1 here in the top of the 6th. We'll go ahead and step aside for 60 seconds. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Huge thanks to Seattle Joe listening from work in Millard. Just down the road a little bit, I suppose. The new pitcher for Millard West is going to be number 33, the senior, Joey Hartnett. Hartnett, a senior, no wins, no losses on the record, but a 2.05 earned run average this season. So we're approaching the 3 o'clock hour here. This game, first pitch was about 12:59 p.m. today. Game 1 started about 10:01. So we've had pretty much baseball action since 10 a.m. this morning. Lincoln East and Elkhorn South are in the building. They're getting ready for their 4 p.m. matchup. As long as Lincoln East is victorious in that first game, they'll play the winner of this one in Friday night state championship game. If Elkhorn South is able to get the best of the Spartans in game 1, then we'll have another, if necessary, game around 7 p.m. or so. 5-1 the score, Millard West with the lead. Hartnett, the first pitch, breaking ball, doesn't come back, and it's going to be a ball up and away, 1-0. The hitter, Sam Dinkelman. Dinkelman is 2 for 2 today. Runners on first and second as Lighting is on second and Lee is on first for Grand Island, who trail by 4. Now Dinkelman skies one into center field. Jackson Williams getting behind it, getting ready. They're going to try to tag, and now they'll send him back to second, and now they're going to get into a rundown. The runner will be tagged out at third, and retreating to first is Braden Lee. So Lighting wanted to tag up and then slipped on the turf on his way back to second base. And by the time Williams and the Wildcats got the baseball back into the field of play, Lighting was caught in no man's land, and he is tagged out at third base. So double play changes the situation dramatically for the Islanders. Hartnett now just has to get one more out here in the top of the sixth. The pitch from Hartnett, swung on and missed by Gage Gannon. So that will go down as an F8, and then basically 8-6-4-5 on the tag out from Millard West to Carson Lighting. Now a base knock into right center. Williams tracks it down, and they're going to stop at second base. And really, that's frustrating for Grand Island because that would have scored Lighting from second. But instead, it's a 0 still on the scoreboard, but a nice piece of hitting by Gage Gannon. 5-1 the score. 2 runs for Millard West in the first and 3 in the bottom half of the fifth. Grand Island led at one point after the top of the first. They led 1-0. We're going to have a pinch hitter here for the second baseman, Riley Plummer, as number 15, Jace Chrisman, comes into bat. Chrisman, a senior, hitting .200 this season. Just 6 runs batted in, 8 hits in 40 at-bats. 2 outs here, top of the sixth. But first pitch, the at-bat's going to get away from Corey Kozad, so both runners will advance from first to second and second to third. 1 ball, no strikes now to Jace Chrisman. Five to 1 the score. Millard West out in front by 4. 1 ball, no strikes. Hartnett, the new pitcher, took over this inning. The pitch, low in the dirt. Good stop by Kozad. And it's going to be 2-0. So Jace Chrisman is pinch hitting for Riley Plummer. Plummer was 0 for 2 today. Hence why Kirby Wells maybe wanted a change. Here's the 2-0 pitch, low and away in the dirt. Another good stop by Corey Kozad, who's catching his second game today in the dirt. Ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes here to Chrisman. Two outs in the inning. First base is open, and the 3-0 pitch, low and away, ball 4. So Chrisman walks. That'll load the bases, and Millard West is going to talk things over. So to recap this inning, Lighting got on with a single. He then got to second on Braden Lee's hit by pitch. Dinkelman flew out to center field, but on the fly out, Lighting wanted to act like he was tagging. He ended up not tagging, slipped in between second and third base, and got tagged out at third base. So that's how we got to 2 outs. Then with a nice little base knock and a wild pitch, that is how we have bases loaded with 2 outs. Millard West making a change at pitcher. We'll tell you about the new arm coming up next here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others worry about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim Blue, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Are you looking for a fresh office space or a new place to call home? Independence Built is who to call for all your new residential or commercial builds and remodels. Independence Built is in the process of building a brand new single-family or townhome development in Lincoln, while also in the process of a new walkout townhome development in Bennett. Don't wait. New lots and homes are available now through Independence Built. Give Ken and Dreeline a call today at 402-430-4954. That's 402-430-4954. Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for DBAT Lincoln. Summer is quickly approaching and there's no better way to spend your days than at DBAT Lincoln summer camps for players 13 years and younger. Give your baseball or softball player the chance to improve their hitting, fielding, and base running skills from the best instructors in Lincoln. Sign up now because spots are limited. And if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, you will receive 20% off your entire enrollment. For more information or to sign up, call DBAT Lincoln at 402-882-3228 or visit their location 2 blocks south of Lincoln Southwest High School. DBAT Lincoln, developing beliefs, attitudes, and traditions on and off the field.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Nick Van Tyker is the new pitcher for the Millard West Wildcats as he'll face the pinch hitter, Tyler Douglas, here with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. The first pitch is a strike, 0-1. Van Tyker getting right back up there. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed, 0-2. Here real quickly to Tyler Douglas. So bases are loaded, 2 outs. Grand Island down by 4. The tying run is at the plate in Douglas. The 0-2 pitch from Van Tyker. Swung on, fouled off to the right. 0-2. We'll do it again. $81 degrees currently here in Omaha. Sunny day in Omaha. The 0-2 pitch stays high, out of the zone, ball 1. So 1-2 now to Tyler Douglas. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 6th. Van Tyker delivers. Strike 3 on the curveball in the zone. And that will do it for the top of the 6th inning. So now, here's what happened on that play. So every single time at the end of an inning, when Millard West ends it with a strikeout, Corey Kozad throws the ball to the first baseman. And at that time, the first baseman, Peyton Moore, did not know that it was coming his way. And the runner at first, who was Jace Chrisman, caught it on the bounce and chucked it into the bullpen in the outfield. I have never seen anything like that. So Chrisman just chucked the baseball. It was almost like the Trevor Bauer thing in Kansas City. Trevor Bauer, where he chucked the ball over the center field wall in Kansas City. That was basically what just happened here at Tal Anderson Field. Grand Island's base runner caught the ball while on the base paths and then chucked it into the bullpen. Just sent it into oblivion. I've never seen anything like that. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. And all right, you know what? While we're at it, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, we're back here on The Ticket. I still can't get over what we just saw here. The umpire looked at Jace Chrisman like, dude, what are you doing? Why you chuck the ball into the bullpen? So here we go. We're getting ready to go in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-1, Millard West with the 4-run lead. And the first hitter of the inning is going to be Brody Braw. Braw swings and misses at the first pitch. Rather, Brady Braw, excuse me. Brady Braw swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1. It'll be 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up here in the home half of the 6th inning as Bra fouls the second pitch out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Caden Cusella still on the mound. Grand Island in a spot that I don't think many people thought that they would be in. As now Cusella on the 0-2 elevates the fastball, and Bra lays off 1-2. Not sure many folks thought that Grand Island would have gotten past Creighton Prep, but they did in a 10-0 run rule victory yesterday. Not really sure many people thought Grand Island was going to get past, well, I should say before Prep, Gretna, as this one's going to be hit out to the shortstop, fielded cleanly and thrown across the diamond in time by Dinkelman to Cohen Evans, and Bra is retired for out number 1. But just going through this, Grand Island loses 10-0 to Millard West last Friday. And then on Monday, in an elimination game, Grand Island beats Gretna 2-0. On Tuesday, Grand Island beats Creighton Prep 10-0. And then just to add on to it, they go ahead and beat the number 1 seed here in game 1, 7-5. It's been a long road here for Grand Island. They'll be down to their final 3 outs in the top half of the 7th inning. 5-1 the score. Millard West out in front of Grand Island. The swing by Jackson Williams on the 1-0 pitch is going to be skied high. The first baseman, Cohen Evans, under it, and he hauls it in for out number 2. So it's 2 up, 2 down here for Caden Cusella. As he retires the 8 and 9 hitters, Bra and Williams. That brings up Nick Van Tyker, the leadoff hitter. Van Tyker today, 2 for 3 with 2 singles. He's come around both times that he has singled to score. Bottom of the 6th inning here. Van Tyker takes ball 2 up and in, 2-0. Just feels like towards the end or later stages of this one, it was such an emotional victory for Grand Island in game 1 as the 2-0 pitch is swung back and fouled back to the netting, 2-1. It felt like such an emotional victory in game 1 that they were running low on pitching, which a lot of teams do, and that's why it's so hard to come out of the losers bracket. It's because each of these teams has 2, maybe 3 really good pitchers, and by this stage of the tournament, if you are working your way out of the losers bracket, you're getting some gutsy performances from some of your guys that maybe you didn't expect to. So Caden Cusella, he pitched in game 1, now pitching in game 2. He throws ball 3, low and away, 3-2 to Nick Van Tyker, the leadoff hitter here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. The pitch inside, ball 4 to Nick Van Tyker, and he takes first base on the base on balls. So now they'll go ahead and have a courtesy runner for the pitcher as number 26, Dylan Swierczek, comes in. He'll run for Nick Van Tyker, who is now the pitcher at first base. Stepping up to the plate now, Corey Kozad. Kozad, the catcher. 2 outs here, bottom of the 6th inning. 5-1 the score. Millard West up by 4. The swing and a miss on the first pitch of the AB. Kozad reached last time on a hit by pitch. His courtesy runner, Landon Horst, then came around to score back in the 5th inning. So no balls, 1 strike here for Corey Kozad. Cusella taking his time on the mound. Now comes set. Cusella delivers. The pitch fouled back. 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Caden Cusella, or for Caden Cusella rather, as Corey Kozad is up at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. 5-1 Wildcats on top of Grand Island. Swierczek stands on first. The pitch just a hair outside for a ball, 1-2. It's been a difficult strike zone the entire game for both sides. A little inconsistent for both Grand Island and Millard West personnel. Standing on deck is Tyson Lewis, the 3-hole hitter for Millard West. And now on 1 ball, 2 strike pitch, swung on and fouled left for a foul ball, and we'll do it again at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Due up for Grand Island in their last opportunity. It'll be the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. So they'll have the top of the lineup with Barrientos, Evans, and Aarons. But here in the bottom of the 6th, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5-1 Millard West with the 4-run lead. The pitch swung on and fouled back to the concourse. And it'll bounce out to the second level where we're standing at for the press box. 1 ball, 2 strikes once again. Cusella now up to 34 pitches. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Swierczek still standing on first base. Cusella comes set at the belt, takes a breath, now fires. Swung on and missed, and that will end the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs on no hits. 1 runner left on base after 6 innings of play. Your score, Millard West 5, Grand Island 1. It's the final chance for the Islanders here in the top half of the 7th inning. They'll send their top 3 hitters in their lineup up to the plate when we come back here from Tal Anderson Field in Omaha. 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring is here and it's time to get those seeds in the ground. There's no time for delays if your equipment needs a new part. That's why Acres stocks thousands of premium John Deere parts for all your ag machines. Planters, sprayers, and tractors, Acres has what you need now. And with a team of John Deere certified technicians, Acres will diagnose and repair your equipment quickly. Visit acres.com to find your closest location. Our team of parts and service professionals are dedicated to keeping you operating at full capacity. Acres, solutions for every field.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
We're back here as we begin the 7th inning of play. 5-1 Millard West with the 4-run lead over the Islanders. Nick Van Tyker out there for his 2nd inning of work, and he will face the 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the Islander order. Broxton Barrientos will be up first. As we mentioned, coming up in less than an hour or so, we're going to have the Elkhorn South and Lincoln East game. That'll be the other side of the bracket, and they will face the winner of those 2 teams, will face the winner of this game in the state championship on Friday at 7 p.m. So Nick Van Tyker back out there for Millard West. And we're ready to go. First pitch to Barrientos, swung on and missed, 0-1. Barrientos in this one, 0 for 1. He's walked twice, but flew out to center field back in the 2nd inning. He takes strike 2 over the heart of the plate, 0-2. Van Tyker working quickly on the mound. The 0-2 pitch upstairs and in for a ball, 1-2. So Van Tyker ready to go. The 1-2. Swung on, fouled off to the left side. We'll do it again at 1-2. One ball, two strikes. Nick Van Tyker. Broxton Barrientos at the plate for Grand Island. The Islanders' leadoff hitter had himself a pretty good state tournament to this point. He takes inside ball 2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that pitch was on the plate. I apologize for my pause. That pitch on the plate and called ball 3. The catcher, Corey Kozad, didn't move from directly behind the plate. Now the 3-2, and that's strike 3. That was a worse pitch than the 2-2 offering. But we're going to call that strike 3, and Broxton Barrientos may have just ended his season on a strikeout watch-in. So a backwards K for Barrientos and Van Tyker for the first out here in the 7th inning. That brings up Cohen Evans. He fouls it off to the left side, 0-1. Evans, fielder's choice, a sacrifice bunt, and a strikeout today. Van Tyker was stepping on the mound ready to go once again, but had to wait for the okay from the home plate umpire. So now here's the pitch, 0-1, low in the dirt, 1-1. E.J. Ahrens stands on deck. The pitch, strike 2, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cohen Evans. So 1 ball, 2 strike. Here's the pitch to Cohen Evans, low and away, ball 2. Lincoln East and Elkhorn South getting ready here in the next hour or so. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, chopped to the left side. Tyson Lewis unable to field it cleanly. That'll bounce into the outfield, but staying at first is Cohen Evans, and he reaches on a single. That may be, and that is scored as an error on the shortstop. That's how Cohen Evans reaches. Bringing up E.J. Ahrens. Ahrens has 2 strikeouts today with a walk. Not a great game 2 for E.J. Ahrens, the 3-hole. Pitch, low and away, ball 1. So Van Tyker came in during that 6th inning in relief. Floats the breaking ball over the heart of the plate, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike here for Nick Van Tyker, the pitcher for Millard West. Strike 2 on a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes to E.J. Ahrens. Carson Lighting is on deck. Millard West just 2 outs away from a state championship berth. 1 ball, 2 strike. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 on a curveball in the inside corner. E.J. Ahrens goes down looking. And that brings Carson Lighting to the plate as the final chance for the Grand Island Islanders. Lighting, the starting left fielder today. He had a double in yesterday's game against Creighton Prep that brought home 2 RBIs. Today, Lighting had an RBI single in the 1st inning. He fouls this one off, 0-1. So Carson Lighting steps into the right-handed batter's box. Van Tyker comes set at the belt. The pitch from Van Tyker. Curveball floats in the zone. Strike 2. Islanders are down to their final strike in this one. 5-1, they trail Millard West, the number 1 seed Wildcats against the 8 seed Islanders. Here's the pitch. swung on and fouled off to the right. No balls, 2 strikes. We'll do it again. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Van Tyker comes set. Here's the late kick and the pitch. Swung on and missed. And Millard West is going to the state title game on Friday night at 7 p.m. They avenge the 7-5 loss in game 1 of the day, and they come back with a dominant 5-1 victory here in game 2. That'll do it for myself for now from Tal Anderson Field. We'll go ahead and send it back to the 93.7 The Ticket studios. And when we return here in about an hour or so, we will have first pitch of Elkhorn South and Lincoln East coming at you from the home of the Omaha Mavericks, Tal Anderson Field, right after this on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with.